Hey. There's everybody. Okay. Billabong, hello there. What's up, Ada? What's up, Brandon? What's up, Jen? I need to get closer. I try not to be too close, but I need to be able to scroll. Thank you guys for joining me. No one else is here. Okay, cool. How you guys doing? I'm glad to be able to do this again. Oh my God. It's been touch and go. Therefore, aliens. What's going on, stranger? Yep, so far so good. How are you? Hmm. Been a long time seeing you here. Doing DoorDash. Okay. You know what? Um, I'm not gonna keep my friend waiting. I'll just start. Let me just invite him in. So Adam and I don't know when we met, but we've been friends ever since. I'm gonna copy this and send this link to him. You guys talk amongst yourselves. I'll be right back. Y'all can probably still see me. Okay. Let me send him the link again. What's up, T Love? How y'all been? If you all are able to, if there's a thumbs up button anywhere, can you do me a solid and just hit it? Like if you're watching on YouTube, that would be great. So yeah. Oh, where's my stuff? Okay, topics for. We used to work together at the company that we will not say its name. I will remind Adam of that. And ladies and gentlemen, without any further ado, it's my dear sweet friend Adam. Am I saying you're a full government, or can I just call you Adam B?
You can do whatever you feel you want to do. It doesn't matter.
Ladies and gentlemen, Adam B.
Well, hello. How's it
So
going?
we've got 10 people. Can you see comments or anything? I'm gonna have to read them to you probably.
There is like a button, so if I hit it, you'll probably have to read them to me. If I hit it, then you go away.
Can I just say I am loving that shirt.
Oh, thanks. This was literally a clearance find from a usually overpriced retail store that's usually designed for people in their earlier 20s.
Oh baby, it looks good. Okay,
Thank you
now
so much.
there might be like with your movement, there might be a slight, like lag like we discussed, but other than that, um, they're saying hello to you.
Hi.
So there's a woman, Ada Cruz. She's a longtime subscriber of mine. She's also one of my moderators for my channel. She says hello. Jen K says hello. Billabong Matt, and therefore aliens, and he loves your shirt too.
Thank you. Hello,
Okay.
everyone.
So okay, how I don't even know when we met. It's been a long time.
Gosh, to be honest with you, I feel like it was around like 20, it has to be between 16 and 18. Um, when you and I met, 2016, I feel. Because where I started, where we both
Yeah,
worked,
yeah.
um, I feel like it was around 2016.
2016 probably that makes more sense than 2018.
Because
Okay.
I think so.
Okay. And um we'll get more into, you know, those times probably a little bit. But I first want to know, like, first of all, thank you for doing this with me and for wanting to do it. I hope Miss Katie comes. So you guys, Katie Hart is someone that we used to work with, and on Instagram, I think she said that she might make it. So I hope she does make it.
Yeah, I hope.
That would be cool. Um, what are you having? Since it's called Chow with Chews, we like to do a little chowing, a little chewing while we chat. So, what are you having? Show it to us.
Well, I want to say something. First and foremost, also, thank you for inviting me to this. I was definitely looking forward to it, and it's great to see
Oh,
your face. And so, um, if you can recall on our earlier working days, there was usually like a theme to what I always ate, which was usually chips and, or I'm sorry, which usually like crackers and cheese. So I made
yeah.
myself like a little like personal appetizer, little charcuterie. I'm doing a terrible job showing it, but there's
Okay.
crackers and cheese, olives, and guacamole. And then I also have a delicious buffalo salad with vegetarian chicken because I do not eat meat. I have also been slowly getting rid of dairy, not purposefully, or like it's just kind of happening. Um,
Okay.
but yeah, and then I got a few different choices of beverage, both sparkling, both non-alcoholic. Um,
You could, just so you know, I mean, you could have, but we didn't even talk about that. But so this is what I'm having because you are here, and of course, obviously, I know you don't eat meat. I decided to try to have something a little that something you might actually, be a little proud of. So these are veggie bacon potato frittatas.
man,
The brand name is Garden Lights. I've never had them before, but I bought it at Walmart. The other thing I'm having is this. It
mm,
is you've heard of this brand, right? Guardian.
yeah, yeah,
So it's sausage Benny breakfast bowl, potatoes, Guardian meatless sausage, eggless scrambled eggs, mushrooms and asparagus and a holiday sauce.
got it.
So I
What's on
thought,
your plate looks so good.
well, it's been sitting out for a few minutes, so it's probably warm now, but I'm excited to try it actually. So let me get into a couple of comments. So T Love, who's one of the subscribers, says you have a nice face,
Thank you. I usually
and
get that
therefore
in the dark.
I can see your hair, that color. I can see it still. If you do this, I can really see it. It's okay. So you guys, wait a minute. I think I might have permission to share these pictures. He sent me a few pictures when I asked, when people come on here, I like to ask if they would send a picture with no wording so that, I can, you know, have it to promote the appearance. And Adam has one of the best pictures ever, where he is on at a stairwell on a banister, and the look is like it is total diva. The eyes are closed. The only drawback about that picture, Adam, is that it's not zoomed in on you. It needs to
Oh,
be centered. It needs to be close up.
yeah.
That is such a good picture. I love that picture.
Thank you so much. I thought you were going to say it was missing a pair of heels.
It is your red pumps. It is. That was the other thing I was going to say. Okay, therefore, Alien says looks delicious. It's 10 p.m. here in the UK, and now I'm hungry. Okay. Luke
Here.
B. Grubbin, what's up? Thank you for popping through. This is Luke B. Grubbin is one of my other longtime subscribers, and he has a channel of his own too. He's also a moderator. Thank you for popping through. Xavier Bruce, hello. He says hello to you, Adam. And these guys all know each other, so they're saying hi to each other.
Got it.
Can you dig in? Wait, before you do that, let's put your meal, your charcuterie up
I know.
so
I'm
we can
sorry.
do.
Mine's like not on like the view. I'm so sorry, but I could at least
No,
like.
that's okay. That's okay. Oh damn, but I need to see your face. I need to see
Oh,
your face, boo.
all right. Hold on.
Let
Hold
me
on. Let me
do
see.
this. Is gonna be like a thumbnail. Okay, come on, work it. Okay, hold on. Just stay right there. Stay right there. Okay,
Y'all remember Mannequin? It was between me or Kim, and obviously Kim got it.
Mannequin, the movie.
Because I was just standing still.
Oh, okay. Because I never saw Mannequin.
Oh.
Maybe you got a few more tats.
I did get a few more actually. None
I'm
since I left. None since I've moved to Colorado. But I did get a few, like literally the week that we moved.
Wow. Okay, so your journey, you okay? Am I right on this? Wisconsin,
No.
then
Uh,
Chicago.
uh, wait. What? Like moving from Chicago?
Well, weren't you living someplace before you moved to Chicago?
Oh, got you. I was in a suburb. I used to live in like Georgia, like growing up for a few years. I am like a native to the Midwest. Moved to Georgia preteen, mid-teens, came back, was in a suburb of Chicago that was in Chicago for 13 years before relocating to Colorado.
I don't know why I thought you were in Wisconsin,
Oh, that's okay. Oh,
but I'm
I
gonna try
I
to.
feel because there was an opportunity to relocate to Wisconsin in our working days together. So that very well could be what that's about.
Okay,
Yeah,
I got it.
yeah.
So I'm gonna ask you to dig into some of your charcuterie,
I've been
which
ready.
no, which kind of doesn't sound right. Dig into your charcuterie does not sound right. It's like dig into your cooter. I'm gonna try this frittata.
It looks really, really good.
It tastes good, but I really want some syrup on it. Is that awful?
Not at all. You know what's funny is um, I feel I was able to adapt. I've been vegetarian now for 11 or 12 years. Um,
Mm,
it was easy to transition off of meat because of the substitutes. At first, it was a little different for sure, but you do start to get used to it. But the one that I never felt was like you can never compare to is bacon. There is no fake bacon that can come anywhere near. Like the impossible meat is so good, but can we get like impossible bacon? Because I would be so happy. That is like the only thing I miss. I would never go into temptation, but I do miss bacon.
wow. I mean, it's so weird to hear you even say that, and talk about bacon because I've known you only to be a vegetarian. So it's always crazy when I, hear other people talk about their former lives as, meat eaters. Okay.
Long time ago. It's crazy.
Hello, Emmanuel. Thank you for joining. And like you guys always know, if I miss you in the stream in the chat, please don't be offended. It's just because I'm engaged, and I'll do the best I can to get to your comments and stuff. Um, I thought we would start with something a little deep, and I haven't talked about it much on my channel. Um, First of all, Adam, you don't have a channel or anything, right? Or no, nothing.
You know what? I don't have like a YouTube channel, but it is something I have been contemplating because I do have a Facebook and an Instagram group called Horticulture Hangout. It's all about houseplants and just questions and this and the other. I have an abundance of plants and I have thought about doing like a YouTube channel or something as far as like tutorials because I do like to make my own like mediums. And I come up with just like different concoctions and I
Okay.
make hangers and just I like to share that stuff. I have a little over 300 members right now on my Facebook group. So
Okay.
the more the merrier. I love seeing it grow. It's been going on for a little over a year.
I
So if
need to join that
anyone's
group.
interested,
I need to
please
join that
join.
group. But you know what? Do you remember we were texting one time, and I think we were coming up with names, and I think you came up with a cute ass name. But I know it was you. I know it was you. And I said, look, let's not put that name out there because it's too cute, and someone will probably try to take it. I think we're gonna have to scroll back into our like text messaging chat
I think so.
because I feel like we had that conversation, and I'm like, holy shit, that's such a good name. Well,
I
oh,
did like there was like talk dirty or like let's get dirty. Um, I tried to make like I was thinking of like a few like innuendo styles, but then I was like,
that
well, if there's a
sounds
hit,
about right. Whatever it was so clever, and I was like, that you need to keep that name. But anyway, let's talk about something that's probably gonna have us to stop eating. Although I'm loving this fake sausage Benny thing.
Gardein is good. They have really good products.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah.
The Derek Chauvin verdict. Let's just get it out the way. Reactions, feelings, what you think should happen next, like anything you want to just go from.
You know, the one thing I have to say, what I think is absolutely nuts, is thinking about how many people in this country was figuratively clamping onto their pearls while watching the verdict. And what is like really sad is like that in itself is an event and something that is based on what I feel is murder of somebody. Like this should never be like what's gonna happen. I am beyond happy with the result of the verdict. And when they read the first one, I lost it. I mean, I lost it because I was just like I was terrified for that moment. And then as each one came back as guilty, I was just overwhelmed, and I was just like, but overwhelmed in the most positive way. And then when
Yeah,
they took away his bail, honestly, like seeing him getting handcuffed was the best part of it. Like, goodbye. I hope, I hope that um, the sentencing is to the fullest. I also hope that um, the sentencing is to the fullest for the other officers because others were involved and
yeah,
others were holding him down, and it's not fair to only put it all on one person. And I was watching something earlier where it did show like the report from like that day, um, and it was like it was the police report, and nowhere was there anything about um, Derek's actions. And what's crazy, I'm not trying to use that word. What's interesting is the video of the citizen was primarily used as word over law enforcement. What? That, like like law enforcement, like that should be your number one. Like, how does that not say corruption? Like,
right.
but I will say, and please, I'm so sorry, but the woman officer who the taser. Um,
Kim Powell.
um, I am so glad that she got arrested, and I'm so glad she got arrested as quickly as she did. But we also have to ask ourselves: was she arrested this quickly because she was a woman? Like, no male officer that at least that I can recall, and I'm not being factual, just at least from what I've
Yeah,
gathered. What white cop or just cop in general for murder, no, a white cop really, has been charged as quickly as she was. So
yep.
like, you know,
If it had been you know what? It's so funny. I had not thought of that, to be honest with you. Now thinking about it, had she been a man, uh, he would have a desk job.
yeah, he would be out on like paid um
Yeah,
whatever, just like Derek was. Like he was out, he got his pension and whatever. Like come on, like with
Yeah,
her, like it took literally no
I
time.
was at
Like,
I was at the I was at the plantation, the job when the verdict was read, and so I didn't have the, I won't say pleasure. I wasn't around to see the verdict, but you're right. I mean, it shouldn't have even had to come to where the country was gripped, waiting for that verdict like that.
mhm.
When I found out, I was pleased, and of course, I was one of those people that thought, once again, they're not going to do the right thing because they're all in bed with each other. The justice system and law enforcement hand in hand, they're all fucking each other. It's not going to happen, even though the world watched a man die.
I
Um,
have I'll send it to you. I have a report that I obtained earlier, and it literally shows that 45% of Republicans feel that Derek was incorrectly charged.
of
Or
course,
wrong sense.
of course,
Absolutely. Um, just
of
like
course. Yeah,
it,
send it to me. But I mean, I'm not surprised by that. I know you're not surprised by it,
no, like
but
give it.
and that right there, that lets you know we have a long way to go.
And like
Long.
why? We should not be at this point. Like what? Like why? Like we should like when I look at like old movies and like old like videos and like people making a stance, I feel like this is like the same song that has been preached for decades upon
Hmm.
decades, and it's like, how are we still at this point? I mean, like, for goodness sake, like, where does this like superiority come from? Like, I know where I know where it comes from. It makes sense
Yeah.
where it comes from, and it's just so stupid that people turn a blind eye and can't want to make a change because of like
Hmm.
how they were raised. Like, if you know you were raised incorrectly, like, speak up about it and let's move on. Let's be progressive and let's be inclusive. Like, happier people, happier country, like more
The
success. Like,
change has to start with people. It has to start with the individual. And if individuals are not willing to change, we can't really expect for the world around us to be any different. We can't expect for it to operate any differently.
totally.
And them Republicans are, the Republicans, and I think some people, and my brother's a cop, he's a cop in another state. I know that the cops have a hard job. I know not all of them are bad.
Totally.
However, I think some have filtered in, and some people with some really deep seated prejudices, racism, they've been filtered into these areas, into these systems,
Yeah.
and you see these things, I think, play out in how they protect and serve the citizens.
It
I
feels
think
like a
I,
majority.
when I,
Oh, sorry.
I'm sorry. When I think about that video, Derek Chauvin,
Yeah.
I feel like it was his nonverbal way of saying,
Fuck you.
"Look at me. I'm a white man and I'm a cop. I'm an authority figure, and I've got my knee on the neck of one of your own, and you can't do shit about it."
Yeah.
I
Come near
felt like when he
what
was
happened.
looking at them or looking around, that was his messaging. So you make the decision to do that for 9 minutes. You're trying to tell someone something.
Hmm. That's a message.
Yeah,
Hmm.
totally.
Yep.
I want to read a couple comments, Adam. So therefore, aliens says for you to start the channel. Um,
I will.
He also says the whole case sends shockwaves across the world. It has led a lot more scrutiny of our police, especially in the Sarah Everard case, the 30-year-old woman murdered allegedly by a police officer. Yep, I agree. I
Hard.
agree. Oh, were you going to say something else? And I,
Um, Uh, I I was, but I don't quite remember what it was. It was kind of just like along the lines where, um, we definitely need to change, and I think one way of getting some change really is restructuring our police system. And I don't necessarily like the word defund because I feel the word defund is really it's I think it's too abrasive.
Yeah.
But I do think that we need to reconfigure costs because, you know, I think too many cops are out here playing like this enforcement and executor role, and especially when there's people like the older woman a few weeks ago who was pushed to the ground and handcuffed and incarcerated, and she has Alzheimer's. She was like
Oh.
completely clueless to what's going on, and it's just like, okay. And so what I do hope and feel needs to happen is there needs to definitely be more medically licensed professionals involved when police action is going on. If there has been like a disruption call because someone has been overdosing on heroin like every time that they come out of jail, well, maybe if we had a licensed professional that was involved, then maybe this person, instead of being incarcerated, is then put into like a rehab program or just like
Yeah.
something that's more successful, because officers just aren't trained in that. Like our qualifications to be an officer, it doesn't really take a lot. And I personally feel that a lot of the officers that we have, because it doesn't take a lot to be an officer, are those people who never felt adequate growing up, who were bullied, who were made fun of, who were like never this, who never got the attention. And now
Yeah.
they're like, yeah, look at me. Like now I get to like feel adequate because now I can like push you around. And it's like, you're not the person that should be on this job. Like
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
just
I agree.
needs to be
I
structured.
agree. I think all of it needs to be looked at. They need to, they need to traffic stops where traffic stops are concerned, stopping and frisking, people of color.
You got
Um,
cameras. If you got cameras and you see that my tail light's out, there's my license plate number, right?
yeah,
Send
right,
me send me the ticket. Why is
right.
there an armed officer telling me I have a tail light out? Like that, well, not me. I mean, I never feel that way, but I mean like give me a break. Like
Yeah, of course. And the whole, another thing too is these guys are shooting to kill usually, and I feel like y'all need to learn to shoot to wound, or aim to wound, not to kill.
mhm.
That and foot chases, that needs to be looked into as well,
Look,
because it seems like, huh?
I'm going to shoot your knee.
I mean, listen, anything to let's just stop killing not only people of color, but let's just like you said, reconfigure is a good term. I like that term.
Thanks.
Um, what's up, Jojo? Okay, let's move on to another topic.
Yeah.
Okay. Um, we met in a retail environment, so I want to talk about. We don't have to talk as much about the TikTok video I sent you. I'm not even sure how old that video is, but I absolutely love it. So this comedian named Scott Seiss, I think,
I think so, yeah.
he did a video about the horrors of working retail. Um, if you have not seen this video, it is freaking hilarious, particularly if you work retail. It is spot on. Um, and I thought we might talk about maybe the best and worst experiences we've had in retail settings, if we've had any. Um,
If what do you mean if?
well, I can't remember. I don't think I can remember good ones, but I can remember some at the outlet where I really thought and felt
It's the first one that's
like
on my
people.
mind. is the
Yeah,
outfit.
I really thought and felt like, because it was really when I was on the floor a lot, and that was at the outlet for the most part. Those were the times where I felt like, you know what, I'm being punked or someone's trying to test me. It was when your friend, or now former friend, Miss Ashley,
Former.
a former friend, when
Who?
she,
Who's that?
right, um, oh my God, I felt like she was setting me, probably other people up, bringing in people that she knew. Now, this is just all in my head. Bringing in people that she knew to create situations to try to bring me, down or something like that, because I could totally see her doing something like that. So those were some of my worst moments, like closing manager on a Sunday, yeah, about 10 minutes before closing, and then these bitches want to come in, you know,
Pillows.
with,
Can I get pillows?
well, it was that whole, like, that furniture part where we had all the furniture samples, and that area toward the back where, people just, oh, they would just take their time. And I know somehow I came to find out that Ashley was familiar with a couple of these people.
Hmm.
And I was like, you know what, this bitch is trying to set me up.
Mm-hmm.
So those are some of my worst, even though I didn't act any particular kind of way, but I know they felt my mood changing. Like, I would always be the one to turn off the music, even though they told you, don't turn off the music before a certain time. I'd be like, fuck that. We've spent 6 or 7 hours up in this bitch. It's time to go. People
Yeah,
want to
you
go
have
home
plenty
to
of time.
their lives now.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I would like to say this is actually kind of funny. I think that you're absolutely right about Ashley, where she definitely was the person who, for one, tried to bring in people that she knew to work with. But I also feel like she did try like to set up stuff like that so she could play into like a narrative, you know. My
mhm.
favorite takeaway about Ashley though is she downright tried to sabotage me and she ended up getting fucked in the process and she went away.
um, uh, uh, Time card issue. Am I correct? Fudging her time card?
Um, yes, absolutely. And since our previous boss, when she had left and the new one came in, KC, we'll just give the initials. Do you remember? Yeah. Um, she did not fall for Ashley's bullshit at all, and um, that was awesome. So
Listen, speaking of Casey, do you? She went to Naperville, right?
not anymore, but yes,
Okay. Are you in touch with her at all?
I am actually via LinkedIn. We communicate on occasion.
I gotta find her, but I'm not on LinkedIn. I wonder if she has a Facebook.
I don't know. I have tried to find her, but I've never had luck finding her on anything other than
Okay.
LinkedIn. But she
Okay.
is no longer with the company. She is doing her own thing.
Okay. That part I did not know. Remember when she took us to that brewery out near where she lives?
Mhm.
Oh my God, that was so much fun. I think that was the first time I had like a chocolate flavored beer or something like that.
Yeah,
She took us to some place to eat, and then
we went and had a cocktail.
yeah, we went.
That
Yeah,
was
it
nice.
was so much fun. I forgot where we went, what neighborhood I was in, what suburb I was in.
I know.
I totally forgot about that. What's up, David? Thank you for popping through. David McMaster says hello, Adam.
Hi, David.
Adam, we only got 6 people in the chat, but that's okay. Hopefully, they will watch the replay. Um,
That's okay.
let's talk about Lil Nas X. Now, this is where I'm gonna have to. I got this. I got it for a reason.
Oh, look, you got notes.
I had to do some notes. Um, I was talking with one friend about this whole Montero, the video and whatnot, and the song, and he is not really into like pop stars too much because there's a lot of gimmickry as a term that he used. And I kind of get that, people using ploys and things to, bring attention and hype to their work. And I get it. But I feel like there's another message. I feel like if let's take the shoes out of the equation because that was something that shouldn't have even happened as far as I'm concerned. Just because it seemed like more of a distraction to
What
what I feel.
what shoes?
That's good. So he had these shoes that they were calling Satan shoes because it
Oh,
was a
oh, yeah,
yeah.
right. Gotcha.
So I felt like that was a distraction from what the real kind of message behind the song is. Which let me just read a couple of things and then I'll get your take.
Sure.
So there was a critic that tweeted, the system is targeted. Lil Nas X's fan base is mostly children. Um, and his Lil Nas X's response was, um, what did he say? Hold on, you guys. I thought I wrote that down. He says something along the lines of, there was no system in place. I made and created the video. I am an adult. I don't have time to be sitting up, catering to your children. That's your job. Okay,
Exactly.
that that's number one. He also said this, and I think this this right here, what I'm about to read, is the reason why I am going to support him, even if he does put out shitty music after this song.
Okay.
I'm going to support him here.
Yeah.
I spent my entire life, my entire teenage years, hating myself because of the shit y'all preached would happen to me because I was gay. So I hope you're mad. Stay mad. Feel some of the anger that you teach us to have towards ourselves. I love that. And honestly, if you don't understand it, it means you haven't been gay, you're not gay, you haven't gone through it. I don't know any one of us that hasn't had any kind of conflict with someone like religious in the family, or if you belong to a church as a kid, and then what you hear the church folk, how they talk about you when they think you're different and all of that stuff. So, what's your take? I've been running my mouth, Adam. I'm sorry.
My first thing is people who have never had their freedom and their lives um, negotiated with the Supreme Court system will never be able to understand anything outside of a box. Personally, that's how I feel.
Hmm.
As far as your children go, you know what I was listening to when I was like 14 and like younger? I was listening to like Two Live Crew. I was listening to like, Lil Kim. Um, like raunchy, like no matter how old the kid is, I feel like they're going to typically have access to all levels of entertainment.
Right.
Now, with that being said, as an artist, it is not their responsibility to put out content for their kid, for somebody else's kid. I am an entertainer. I am not a babysitter. I'm not a nanny. Like that's not on my resume. Like resume is or entertainer is on my resume.
Hmm.
So it's your job as a parent to put up controls, know when to change the channel, and know how
Hmm.
to set like restrictions for things that you don't want them to see. That's your responsibility. That's not the artist's responsibility.
Yep.
Um, that for one is my take. I feel like it's always easy to blame somebody else. Like you shouldn't be doing like no. Like take accountability as a parent and say I don't want my kid doing this. So I'm gonna figure out how to take this away and replace it with something that I feel is appropriate.
And in
Right.
his case, really quick, in his case, my guess is the parents were listening to Old Town Road. So if whatever the parent is listening to, the kids are going to have access to as well. I wasn't paying any attention. I just thought, oh, okay, well, some people like this song. I had never even really heard the song in full. I
I
was
don't.
just like, okay, whoever this person is, they trying to reach out to the country, and I have to appreciate that part of it.
Mm-hmm.
But it was okay then because he had the little, the red outfit and the cowboy hat, and he looked like a caricature. But as soon as he started putting on the feathers and the drag wear and lap dancing with the devil,
Yeah.
oh, I want to read one other quote, one other thing he said that I love. Hold on.
Yeah. He was
He
country
said,
cliche. I just want to say he
"Yeah,
was country
yeah,
cliche.
exactly." He says, there's a mass shooting, and this was a response to another critic's tweet. He said, there's a mass shooting every week that our government does nothing to stop. Me sliding down a CGI pole isn't what's destroying society. I love it.
I mean, absolutely. If you look at the new trans bill, where was it in Florida? You have
Yeah.
all these mass shootings, and you have Republicans that are more concerned about looking up children's genitals. What? Like, where are the priorities? But yeah, Pizzagate. Don't forget Hillary Clinton's eating babies to stay youthful, even though she looks like a woman of her age. I mean, let's be honest here.
Right.
Uh, that's
Right.
clearly not working if that's the case. What else I want to say? Uh, I absolutely love. I don't know if I'll ever really be like into his music that much. I like Montero. I think it's great.
Mhm.
Um, but what I love about it is that he as when he was like 14, like right, I think he was like 14, he wrote himself like a note, and like he wrote himself like that note, right, and it was like, hey, like this is what it was like a love note to himself, like no one's gonna like accept me, like whatever. And
I
then
wrote it down.
I love that, but and then like I love what his takeaway is like, this is what Christians would say would happen to me. um I I I give that to you. So I present that what you said is going to happen to me. I present that to you. You're pissed off that
Mhm.
I just presented it to you, but I also just fucking killed the devil. So what are you mad about? Like what? It's like I just like no matter what, there's going to be an uproar, and it's just like worry about your damn self.
Like he said, the part that I read, and I don't know if this is what you're referring to. He wrote a note to his 14-year-old self, where he basically let me just read it because I wrote it down. He said, "This will open doors." This is part of the note. This will. He basically said that he would never come out, but he goes to explain why he's breaking that promise. He says this will open doors for many other queer people to simply exist. You see, this is very scary for me. People will be angry. They'll say I'm pushing an agenda. But the truth is, I am. The agenda to make people stay the fuck out of other people's lives and stop dictating who they should be, sending you love from the future. For me, it's everything that I at one point wanted to do when I fancied that I might become an entertainer. It's everything that I thought that we needed in the gay community. Like we needed somebody that was black, that was
Yeah.
male, who had this voice and who had the name to really like people would pay attention to what he was saying. I am so glad that that Old Town Road shit was a massive hit because it allowed. I'm sorry, yeah, like that was some bullshit.
Yeah, it
But
doesn't work for me.
if other people like it, I love it. But I didn't care for that. But I'm glad it was a massive hit because so he could be the voice to say something like this, a voice from hip hop.
Yep.
Okay, I love that.
Yeah.
Hey, Mrs. Janita. I'm sorry, girl. We chatting up in here, my friend. If she's still here. Okay. So are we done with Lil Nas X?
um I want to say one more thing about him, actually. Um,
He cute
Another
though.
reason why I feel like it's very valid with Montero is also because me growing up, I also did grow up like in a church. And what was really hard growing up was like I was always involved with the churches I was in. You know, I used to do like puppets and like I was always part of like sound systems. Like I always was like involved. Um, but what was really hard was like you would always end up getting to like there would always be like the random sermon about anti-homosexuality, and it's like, are you fucking kidding me? Like I'm over here like being a part, and you're telling me no matter like what I'm doing, like
Yeah,
I'm gonna essentially go to hell, like exactly like what Lil Nas X is stating, like you know I'm gonna go to hell for this and whatever. So it's just like also being in that up, also growing up like that, and I can't identify and relate to exactly what he's saying with that, and so that's
hmm,
another reason why I just feel like what he did is very valid, and I fully support him. I might not ever, I who knows? I mean, maybe he's beautiful though. He's very good looking. Oh my gosh, when he's
oh
older,
my god, like I
damn.
guess he had to get rid of the cowboy hat, and because I've seen him in another light, like those soup cooling lips. I love them. I could suck them all night. Ooh,
That's he's got some
um,
smooth skin too. I love people with
yes,
smooth skin. And he's got smooth skin. I'm like, okay.
he he's gorgeous. He really
And no
is.
tattoos. I think that kind of cracks me up. I don't. It's kind of charming. He does, at least that I can see. I don't. Maybe he does. I don't know. But it doesn't seem like he's covered up in real life with tattoos. Like, he just has his teeth. Yeah, he's hot. When he gets
Yeah,
older and turns into like more of a man, like damn, or whomever he just start whomever. I'm not trying to say a man. I hate the idea of gender, like specific
yeah.
genderizing. But whatever he decides, like as he
Speaking
gets
of that,
mature.
how I meant to ask you this because it has been a minute since we see each other on Facebook, but we haven't really like chatted. How do you identify a particular way, queer or what?
Um, I do identify as gay. He, him, his. There's a gay man.
Okay,
But
okay.
I do. So where I work now, I am a corporate trainer, and so I train all new hires and whatever. And something that I have been really trying to make sure though is that in all of my presentations, because I'm hosting classes with an X amount of people, it'll always change, but in those classes, I'm always trying to stay away just from the word guys and like whatever. I try to say hi everyone, hey, how are you all
Mhm.
doing? And even though like I don't think a lot of people like read into it right now as that much, but I am definitely trying to also be more inclusive because I want everybody to feel like part of the party. And even though me saying like guys is not, I'm not trying to single anyone out. And I don't think anyone is ever taking it as being singled out, but it is something that I have been working on and trying to progress towards going forward because I feel that that might even be another small little step that maybe could go a really long way.
Okay, okay. Mrs. Chanita also has a channel, and she says, I just heard a podcast that talked about judgment. Quote, when you judge others, you either hurt yourself or you hurt someone else. So she said, when you were talking about growing up in the church and about the way people tell you what you're going to be, the quote came back to me. Yeah, I think I remember being in a church and I didn't hear anything about homosexuality, but um, I was old enough to understand and know about abortions, and um, hearing the preacher talk about abortions and knowing where I stood on it, I just made the decision never to go back to a church again. And I think I was a teenager at the time. I just was like, okay, I am not aligned with this.
Right.
And but it was always like that for me. In case people are interested in how I grew up, my mom, as far as I knew growing up, we never had a church home that we went to every Sunday. um, my brother was actually the first person. I mean, my grandmother was, I guess, religious, but she never really went to a church either. But they would
Okay.
listen to church programs on the
Yeah.
radio or on TV. That's what my mom did. My middle brother, was the first person that I knew who met someone who introduced him to the church. And then my cousin, who I was really close to and still close to, um, followed suit. And that was my first sort of introduction to, heaven and hell, and this is where you're going if you do this, and this is where you're going if you do that. And if you curse, you're going to hell, or you're a sinner. And I would hear so many black women who were going to Baptist churches who were cursed. It confused the hell out of me. I was like, okay, so wait a minute.
Mhm.
They cussing up a storm, but they go to church. What's that all about? So I just kind of left all that alone. I operate on a more, I guess, spiritual level. Um, I do believe what you put into the universe, you get it back,
I
um,
completely agree.
good or bad. So
Can
that's
I
that.
say like a super quick thing? You've just mentioned abortion and birth control. And can I just give two quick little things about how I feel about both of those?
Oh yeah.
Okay. So here's my first stance on abortion. I think that men, if they're not involved in any kind of way, should shut up and stay the fuck out of it because it's none of your fucking business.
Mhm.
If it is a man who is involved and it's a situation with your relationship, that's a discussion for you and your partner. That's for you both to figure out. Um, that's your right. That's your decision. I would never ever make anyone feel like that's not something that's an option. As
Right.
far as birth control goes, I also feel that our system is completely fucking backwards when it comes to birth control. Troy, with a normal pregnancy, how many women or how many babies can on a typical pregnancy? How many babies can a woman have in a year? One, right? One.
Mhm.
A man could literally fuck a woman every day and get 365 women pregnant, right? So why are women put on birth control, put through all of this shit just because they carry the body? In reality, birth control really needs to be provided to a man. And a man needs to get his fucking dick snipped. And a man needs to be the one holding accountability for it. Because in reality, we're the ones who are sprinkling bastard babies all over the fucking world when you know what I mean? So like I've kind of thought about that for a while, and it's just so sad that it's become like all pressure on a woman just because a woman happens to be the carrier. That's not fair. Like a man is way more involved, and it's just so much easier to stick it in and blow. Huh? Like stick
This go
around. Like
this you know what this go 100% agreement. This goes back to Adam and Eve. Eve fucked it up for women. Women have to bear the brunt of everything.
oh,
You
women
know,
will start all the wars. Hasn't all war been started by a man? Give me a
hello.
fucking break.
But you know what? You can't tell a man that. You
He'll
tell a
crush
man
his
some
ego.
shit like that. We sound like women, but that's okay. That's okay. But you can't tell a man that.
When a man's ego gets hurt, a man gets very destructive. And so that's why, I was watching something not long ago where this lady was like terrified to go into the alley. And she's like, we got to find a detour route and this and the other. And it's
Mm,
like, why? And she's like, because I'm a woman and there's irate men. And if someone makes a pass at me and I deny them and then their feelings are hurt, what are they going to do? And I'm
hmm.
like, holy shit. Like, never would have thought about that. And that's something that like really hit home. So I'm like, when men's egos are hurt, they definitely most majority, not all. I'm not speaking for all, but I feel like a
Right.
majority of men definitely like lash out and get very like confrontational about it. And it's like they have to be nurtured. And it's like, no. If I'm telling you no, back up. It's no. Okay, like bye. It shouldn't be a
Yeah.
nor like no like it's something that it really like kind of hit with me. And
You
anywho,
know,
sorry.
no, I love it. That's totally good. That's totally good. And I agree. I remember, I don't know where I heard this, or I witnessed someone um saying to me that they would they used to tell girls not to kick men in the ding ding, because that was just like the worst thing that you could do to a man. And I don't know that I agree with that. I think I don't know that I
Please
agree with
don't
that.
kick me
I
there.
think that, like, I'm glad I don't have a child, and I'm kind of glad I don't have a girl. Because if I had a girl, she would be given all the opposite information that I
Mhm.
used to hear. My daughter would be told to kick him in the ding ding, and she would be going to a self defense class. She would
Mhm.
be knowing how to fight and build furniture like a man. That's how I would try to raise all the shit I didn't know how to do. I would send her, make her do as a female.
Whatever they
Cause
want to do, I would just be
yeah,
supportive. If you want to be a gymnast, I'm going to support you. You want to be a swimmer,
yeah,
I'm going to support you. You want to be a roller derby, cool. Whatever it's going to take for you to be a happy person. Because for one, I'm never going to have kids. I mean, I hope to adopt or foster, but like personally having a kid, no, there's too many people on this planet. Our planet does not like it. Like we need to cut all that back. But something that, like, if I were to foster or anything, I would want that person to grow up to be that person. And I think a lot of parents have kids to be like a reflection of themselves, and I don't think that's fair. I want my
right.
kid to be a reflection of themselves, and if this is what they want to do, like, this is what, if you want to wear high heels and pick up a saw, go for it. If you want to have hairy ass legs and wear mini skirts, go for it. Like, whatever is going to make you happy, because I think a happier you is just going to result in a much happier life. It's going to give you a much happier adulthood. And I want, if I'm ever able to make an impact on a kid's life like that, I really hope that how I have it envisioned is how I would really make them feel, because I would want you
That's
to
what I. That's what
enjoy
I should have said. That's what I
it.
should have said. But I went totally the
I know you're
opposite
messy.
route. But I was just really trying to talk about, women um, defending themselves, you know, because I
We
think
need
so
more
many
women in
women,
office. We need women in office.
well, yeah, and just, women so often are just, they're bearing the brunt of everything, and they're vicious to each other too, and it's just like, I don't know. Anyway,
It's
probably
unfortunate.
better explained by an actual woman. So,
Right. I will watch
Mrs.
that episode.
Mrs. Chanita says, yeah, there's something about guilt-based ethics that don't ring true for me. It's one of the same reasons I still struggle with my faith. Okay.
And I
Yeah,
want to say thank you for the ladies that are listening, because I'm not in any way like, I just want people to know, like, I am a white man who knows that there's a lot of bullshit going on, and I don't want to be someone who's ever contributing to that bullshit. So I just want everyone to always know that, like, there's never like that feeling, there's never that judgment, and everyone needs to do what makes them happy. And I think everybody should be looked at as equal. And I think people just need to mind their own fucking business, and let's just be fucking happy. Like, if it doesn't matter to you, back up. Like,
or at least content. I
yeah.
mean, if no one's gonna, if you're me, then you don't really believe in a state of happiness. But I would at least like to be content enough to be able to live my life the way I like. And if I'm
Totally.
not in your business, you shouldn't be in mine.
If
You
me
know.
having purple hair bugs somebody, that person needs to sit there and be like, why does them having purple hair bug me? Like, what
Yeah,
what is my insecurity that makes their purple hair annoying?
because 9 times out of 10, like I always say, the issue is between their left ear and their right. It has nothing to do with you.
Yep. I
Nothing
love
to do
that.
with you. Now, let's talk about monogamy in gay, queer relationships. Is it a thing? Is monogamy completely like dead in the water, or does it still exist? What kind of impact do open relationships pose or have in a pandemic?
I think that's a really, really good question. And something that I actually feel that I have actually noticed, at least just from like like, look, I mostly work from home now. Like, my exposure to the world has really been a lot more restricted to like social media and stuff. But I definitely have like I follow a lot of gay on TikTok and whatever. And
Mm.
um, I actually feel like majority of what I see now actually is a lot more with monogamy. And it actually kind of it's interesting because living in Chicago, I feel like in Chicago is a lot more about um, being open. And then like here in Colorado, I mean, I really have no idea about the people here. Rob and I are in a monogamous relationship. We always have been. Um, and I honestly, I just feel like it kind of just depends on that relationship. Like, I'm not a jealous person. I don't think that. I think it would take a lot to like make me jealous. I don't know. I feel like as long as there's like that communication, then what you choose to do for your relationship is better. I'm sure there's probably going to have to be some ground rules. A friend of mine, in the past, that was how their relationship worked, and they told me like what they did to make it work, and I guess as long as you are open and honest and upfront about it, and if you feel like that works for you, then do it. I personally am happy being in a monogamous relationship. Um, I like, there's I guess maybe sometimes there's like fantasy of like a different kind of like whatever, but like once like the reality of it sets in, it's just like to me it just like it's just like it's not any different. Um, so I'm happy being in a monogamous relationship. I do feel though that I see more and more, especially in gay relationships, that are trying to stick with monogamy. Um, but I mean, I
Do
feel like
you
it just
think that's
depends.
do
Hmm?
you think that's in part due to what the pandemic has kind of constructed for people?
That's a good question because how comfortable are people how comfortable are people now going out for like a one night stand or a fling or trying to go out to do this any other because yeah, like I have my partner at home, and if I go out and meet somebody, am I now like putting my partner and my household at risk? So I wonder, like, has that if that's changed people's minds, like now that people
Hmm.
are more together, like, are
Or
they
are people's
realizing that they're
hands just
happy?
really tired? I couldn't help it. I
I
couldn't help it. You know
love you
what?
so much.
Here's my thinking. Um, it's funny that you mentioned like Colorado and then Chicago and I mean I've never been to Colorado, but I do still feel like people are doing the open thing, and I do feel like people are meeting people still. Single people are going, to wherever they go to meet people.
Mhm.
But as far as relationships go, I suppose you're right. I think um, I don't know. I feel like people who maybe explored open relationships pre-pandemic maybe have tried to pull back a little bit, but it would be interesting to kind of see what happens. The people I know, they've been pretty like in their own relationships and stuff like that. But it'll be interesting to see like when things get, I won't say back to normal, because I don't know that things will ever really be back to a normal.
I mean, let's see what this vaccine, you know, let's see what changes once more people are vaccinated. Because
I'm getting
will it
mine
start to affect?
tomorrow.
Oh, say that you're getting yours tomorrow. I'm getting my second one, I think, on Tuesday.
Oh, okay, good.
Mhm.
Yeah, it'll. I've been told that Michelle actually told me, keep drinking water and take an
Yeah, don't
Advil.
eat food. Don't eat food. I've been hearing to not eat food. Um,
Really? I just
yeah.
read somewhere where they tell you to do it in case you have to wait.
Oh, that's funny. No, yeah, something I was reading was like your body like works harder when you actually have food in your system, because like I don't. I'll have to like re go over it. But then I was also hearing that if they also like do the injection slowly on your second go about, um, or I guess just depending, then it's also supposedly supposed to help your body with the second shot. Depending, I'm not sure who you're going with. I personally did Pfizer because that's just what was
That's what I
offered.
want to do. Yeah.
Yeah, and so everything I've been hearing is like, don't eat as much, or just don't eat because then, but drink a lot of water, and then ask them to do the injection slowly so that this way it won't just like hit you at one time. It's just like a more like
Do they inject? What arm do they
I
inject
did.
with?
You get to choose. I did mine in the left arm, but they let me choose. It was super painless. My arm hurt the next day, but that was it. My first, like the first injection, didn't. I didn't feel anything. But I'm curious to see what's going to happen on Tuesday.
I would like to be able to go to work Tuesday. I have tomorrow off, but I'd like to be able to go to work Tuesday. Um,
You'll
so
be able to
I'm hoping that my arm does, but I mean, I don't want to
on
have
your
be
second
faced.
one. On your second one, I would. I. It's just been recommended to
Yeah.
try to not do much.
No, because the second one, they're saying people are actually the virus is working for them when they start getting sick, when they
Hmm.
start feeling that way. So
Hmm.
I'll be a while for that. But I'm hearing people say that after the second dose is has taken effect. Well, I guess it takes maybe 2 weeks or
Hmm.
something after that second dose.
Yeah.
Um, then I'm hearing people say they're in the clear, and I I feel like they're meaning something else when they say that. When they say they're in the clear, what exactly are they saying? Are they
There.
saying that they are going to be they won't have the ability? Do they think they won't have the ability to contract it again?
Yeah, that's like the assumption, but that's not the reality. um, so the reality is, like, typically after your first injection, you do build like your antibodies, and after um, a couple of weeks, then you'll get your second shot. I believe after your first shot, you're about 80% immune. The second shot really is just a booster, which is why your body kind of goes into what it's going into. You're
Hmm.
still not completely immune. I don't think that really is a thing. Mostly because there's so many variants now that, well, there's
Right.
I don't know about so many, but there's just different variants, and so you might not really be immune to the different variant that is now developing. So I like no matter what, you're not going to be in the point of hospitalization. So you've eliminated that possibility, and you've also eliminated the possibility of the long term effects, because that's the terrible thing about COVID right now is that the long term effects that people are experiencing are detrimental. One of my friends in Chicago was positive in December, and it is now middle end of April, and he's constantly seeing his doctor and in and out of the hospitals because his body is completely fucked up because of what COVID
Hmm.
has done to him, and he just turned 40, and it's like you're too young, and so you know
Hmm.
you're not. At least what I'm understanding, like I don't think you're ever going to be completely immune. I'm still going to wear a mask, like I have
Yeah,
good breath, so I'm not over here rucking and roaring about a fucking mask. Like, get over your fucking self. Like, put on a
but
mask.
that's what I think. That's what people think. Like they're in the clear. They think that okay, I can take this fucking mask off, and I don't think that's. I'm waiting for the guidelines. Wait for the CDC to tell a bitch, and just use this time to buy cuter masks.
Mhm.
That's what I'm gonna do. I buy cuter, like fiercer masks because I'm not
And
ready to
I
take.
might have it, but I don't know it because I've been vaccinated. But because I've been vaccinated, I don't know if Shirley next to me on this train has been vaccinated. So I'm going to still wear my mask because I might be carrying it, but it's not affecting me. But Shirley
Mhm.
hasn't been vaccinated. So,
Right,
anyhow, I am just letting you know my phone gave me a low battery message.
and it's past an hour. It is past an hour, so we are done.
But I love chatting with you. It's awesome.
Thank you so much, Adam. I appreciate it. And you guys that are in here, thank you for, watching and all of that stuff. I'm gonna let you go because we don't want that phone talking out. Please
Oh no,
tell
you're fine.
Robert and Kitty, please kiss Kitty for me.
I will. I'm actually surprised she hasn't like popped in here because she's usually.
I
I'm in
was
our
hoping
little back room, but I'm surprised she hasn't popped her little head in here because I
I
also
was
got
hoping
food.
she
What
no,
dog
that's
isn't around food?
I was hoping she
Um,
would, but that's okay. Thank you, Adam. Love you, hon.
Thank you so much, just as well, and to everyone for all your positive words. Thank you so much, and it's been an absolute pleasure.
Have a good one.
You too.
Bye, you guys.